Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I meditate on the great Empress. She is red in color, and her eyes are full of compassion, and holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hand. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima, and she is the self within me. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in. Source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is the source, source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now, in which all of us are going to merge. Out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. So let us look at Devi Parashakti's words describing herself, raising in Omkara, expressing as a Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Riyamkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangle, the Kailasa Swamini, who is the Kailasa Sripura Chintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda. I took Nijavatara here to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranya Garbhasvarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraj Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda. I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion, I am blessing to do good to all of you. I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. Devi continues on, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as his first existence. Powers of existence, expression of existence. Sorry, we can go back to the previous slide. From the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotaras of the seven Rishis, expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine Grahas, blossoming as the 10 Indriyas, being as the 11 Rudras, creating all the world, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom, to do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came here to bless every one of you. So how can we receive Devi Parashakti? In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, literally you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen. So always receive her very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch Devi, and this coin is considered the traditional dakshina. In the Hindu tradition, it can be even the lowest value. In India, it can be even 1 paisa. In the US, it can be even 1 cent. I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent. It is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, even 1 paisa is okay. And you can offer that to Devi after the darshan is over. Do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately. Collect those coins and send them to the LA temple. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. So you see how to set up your tambulam with 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin. You can put that on a plate and offer that to Devi every time you have that. And keep it in front of your screen. And you will see how your relationship with Devi Parashakti grows with this one small gesture. Now, let us enter into the next segment and understand how we can connect, what all Devi Parashakti has revealed for humanity at this time. As all of us know, she's been continuously manifesting just to guide us, bless us, and answer each and every one of our prayers. She has revealed many sacred secrets, including the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19. So now let us look at this revelation and understand how we can protect ourselves. In the Guru Padaka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, the very first verse describes how the Guru Padakas, the sacred feet of the Guru, are the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And in this verse, it describes salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which are a boat which help me cross the endless ocean of life, which endow me with the sense of devotion to my Guru, and by worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation. Many of us have been feeling stuck in this same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during this pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in a desperate and dire need of hope. Cosmic Mother has come down to alleviate the suffering of humanity. It is at this time that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, and guiding and healing the whole world as literally the boat that sails us through the pralaya, the cosmic deluge. Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara, answering each of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. Devi Parashakti has guided the whole of humanity in the form of revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, the COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not surfaced to common knowledge as yet. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of the sacred revelation, which have manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until this storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. So let us first understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed as the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19. Let us first listen to Devi's revelation. Sorry for the technical glitch. We'll be fixing the audio shortly.
தந்திட பரஷோடசி மீனாட்சி பரமேஸ்வரி மீனாட்சி பராசக்தி மீனாட்சி இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட நன்மையை சொல்லிட தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் ஒன்று, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் இரண்டு. எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது மூன்று. நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது நான்கு. நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது ஐந்து. சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் ஆறு. நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது ஏழு. பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது எட்டு எனும் எட்டு முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு. நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள். 8இல் 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்.
Now let us look at Devi Parashakti's revelations mapped into English. Devi revealed, "O humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social media, wherever I am residing, worshipping me by doing the firewalking, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on me every day, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss, doing the ajaba of the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Swarana that blossoms as aham, aham, in the state of Ananda Swarana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have effects of corona. They don't have fear and delusion of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life, even if you do one of these 8 ways. I will protect you. Corona will not affect you. Don't have fear, O people. Be blissful. In these revelations, Devi Parashakti revealed the 8 methods to protect all of humanity from COVID-19. Let us now look at each of these methods and the benefits of each method. First method that Devi reveals is praying and meditating upon Devi. So modern science has studied extensively the benefits of meditation, and here Helpline has published 12 of these science-based benefits. So let us look at this. First, it reduces stress, it controls anxiety, it promotes emotional health, it enhances self-awareness, it lengthens the attention span, it may reduce age-related memory loss, it can generate kindness, it may help fight addictions, it improves sleep, it helps control pain, it can decrease the blood pressure, and it is easily accessible anywhere. And the U.S. Department of, and another study by the Cambridge University Press reiterates the necessity of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. In Everyday Health published research about how prayer and spirituality protect the emotional health by offering a bigger sense of purpose, by providing social support, by lifting the spirits, by helping you cope with difficulties. And a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart failure for 5 years, they found that those who reported feeling spiritual peace and who also made some healthy lifestyle changes were significantly more likely to live longer than their peers. And people with people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illnesses who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious practices, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in July 2015 in Depression and Anxiety. So meditation does not just help, but actually has shown to increase the better outcomes in patients. So now let us understand what the avatar himself has directly demonstrated as the impact of meditation on the brain.
Nithyananda participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. Scientific findings are verifiable. They're replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here. Right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was, Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? So what's interesting was, I've never seen that before in my life, so the other parts I've seen may not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. It basically evokes pleasure chemical. You eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's mediated through dopamine. Everything that human being experiences involves dopamine. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is a dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for a divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. Those are some of the findings I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind and brain and the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
Now that we have understood about the impact of meditation, let us now look at prayer, what the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself has revealed about prayer.
If you are not allowed to do yoga, made to believe early morning sleep is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30 sit that 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection. Understand, nothing can be compared to prayer to bust your stress. I tell you, prayer is the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearning, Vyakulata, talking to Paramashiva, relating to Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day puja is an ultimate recharging experience. If you do everyday puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up the deities, jewel them, spend time with them, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. What living avatar can do to you, an Archavatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you is literally living Archavatara. It's a piece of God. Literally.
Let us now look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti, surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. During the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends individually to our prayers and showers us with blessings and boons. Let us now see how we can connect to Devi Parashakti through social media. So the first way is to connect via YouTube. So you can join as a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And you can ask your questions in the comment section of the live Parashakti Akashic reading. Next, you can connect via Facebook. So you can like and follow Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. And you can ask your questions in the live comment section of the Parashakti Akashic reading. Next, you can connect via Twitter. So you can follow Sri Nithyananda on Twitter and ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag AskTheAvatar. You can also follow Sri Nithyananda on Instagram and ask your questions in the comment section of the photo. And lastly, you can connect via WhatsApp. So you can go to kailasa.org and you'll see the WhatsApp chat box that pops up. You can ask your questions here in the WhatsApp chat. So each of these ways you can connect with Devi Parashakti. Now let us look at Devi Parashakti blessing people and how you too can receive these blessings.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாது குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளியே, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
So Devi revealed, wherever I'm residing, worshiping me by doing the firewalking. So let us understand the science behind firewalking. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed this is an alchemy process. And in the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, our rishis and munis were adepts and masters in every field, whether health, keeping the society safe in every field. So all the vratams, the pujas, the spiritual techniques, religious rituals, anything they design is highly scientific and directly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because that firewalking time, that small blisters you get, just shoots up your whole immunity, that power, the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem. It's actually a powerful technique. It's a very powerful technique followed in those days, especially during this season. Especially that is done very traditionally, systematically. If you had even small blisters, and even if you did not have any blisters, you are protected already from corona problem. You will not be affected at all. Corona will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's 11 feet length, the burning live charcoal on which you are supposed to walk with the traditional powerful music, which activates your lymph system, that mukulam, we call it in the back of the neck. That music will feel like it is hitting the back of your neck, and your whole detox system will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, you should walk on fire. Not just like that, you will walk. You will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire and the 11 feet fire pit. If you do for one fire walking, you are absolutely protected from corona. Pray to Mahamariam and do the walking. That is it. It is like a traditional, powerful vaccination. Pray to Parashakti Mahamari and do the Pachipatni Vratam. Do this traditional fire walking. You are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic. No bad side effect vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. So now let us understand the science behind firewalking as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism.
All this transmutation means balancing the system and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks, how they are sensitive, they don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for a complete Kundalini awakening, your whole body needs to be alive and experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness. That is the reason we have the process of firewalking.
Yes, now let us see the Supreme Concept himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai, the birthplace of the Avatar himself.
சத்தியம் காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே ஜோதிமலையிலே அவதரித்தாயே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
Now, let us look at what modern science has also understood about firewalking. A study conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, regarding firewalking, the benefits of firewalking, has shown that firewalking increases the levels of happiness and lowers fatigue levels in those who participated in firewalking compared to those who did not. Now, let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti. Applying turmeric on the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating upon Devi Parashakti every day. So first, let us understand the benefits of neem juice as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism.
Bididi. It is not, I'm not talking from air, I'm talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to live comfortably in that very land. It's only pouring, pouring Karumari's grace wherever we started ashram. Nature completely cooperates because we know biology, whole biology thinks. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. Take Haritaki, you will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice, you release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder, if a woman takes bath with that, she is equivalent to Mahamayi. She is embodiment of Karumari because she will be manifesting that same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend people start doing all these activities like applying neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying turmeric powder and taking bath, applying basma and taking bath, especially for men, basma, for women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both, all genders. That is different. If you want specific, I'll recommend the neem and turmeric for female body, haritaki and basma for male body. Understand, your whole biology things. Working on whole biology changes the whole life. So, now with this understanding the whole biology things, think Mahavagya. This is Ajapa Japa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology thinks. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings to all of you. Start manifesting powers. Now,
Yes. Now that we've understood the benefits of neem, let us look at turmeric. So traditionally, turmeric is of course known for its anti-inflammatory effects, but recently curcumin has also been studied over the last few decades and has been found to be a potent immunomodulator agent that can modulate the activation of various immune cells, including T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells. And curcumin can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this research carried out by the U.S. National Center for Biotechnology Information found that turmeric modulate the activation of various immune cells as well as enhance the antibody response. So overall, it can improve your immune strength. So with a strengthened immune system, you will be much more likely to stay healthy and be able to maintain an active lifestyle. And India.com also published that neem can help you fight in the fight against coronavirus. And another report states that turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to a KGMU study. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the field and going to sleep. So you can see in the photo how you can do this. You can put a banana peel or onion on your foot and put a sock over it, just like in the photo. And you can go to sleep like that, and your whole body will be completely detoxed in the morning, and you will be completely protected from COVID-19 as revealed by Devi. And Medical Daily has also reported on the detoxifying effects of onion. And it states that onion contains a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onion their recognizable smell, but are also powerful detoxifying agents with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear. Onion can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease. And this is why it's very well known in Ayurveda for its medicinal uses. And the Journal of Phytotherapy has published a review on the detoxifying effects of onion, which states that compounds from onion have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which includes anti-carcinogenic properties, antiplatelet activity, antithrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. So now let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti. You can go back to the slide.
The brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. According to science, our brains generate an electromagnetic field which may be measured by such instruments as an encephalograph. This electromagnetic field is generated by the brain every time we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer, tumors, mental diseases, and lowering of the immune system, causing death through own willpower. Our thoughts generate intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment and seen by clairvoyant individuals. These energy patterns are known as thought forms. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking or dislike to a certain person directly on meeting them. We just catch their vibes. Unclutching is a guide for equanimity and enlightenment. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, the next bubble starts and the third bubble starts. Because the bubbles are rising at high speed, they look like a continuous stream. But our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles, we also experience a neutral space between two thoughts. This neutral space between two thoughts is our original state, the pure silence. It is a state of pure consciousness, the state of God. Since the gap or the neutral space between two thoughts is too small, we think all thoughts are connected and form a shaft. But there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if its life depends on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I unclutch from this stick, I will fall and die. Is similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, it may flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds, it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our relationships, or our bank balance. Ultimately comes to remove the stick that is our identity. Just like the bird, we don't realize that if we drop our mind, at that moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a story which explains, there is a huge tall tree, and in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tasty fruit, it forgets the bird sitting above it. In the same way, she keeps battling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again. One day, as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both, and realizes her original state, the small bird realizes that she also can be in the same state of the golden bird and become a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Now that we have understood the science of unclutching, let us now look at, you can spend a few minutes in your day practicing unclutching. So when you get a few minutes in your day, you can sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and have your eyes closed. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Do not engage with any thoughts or emotions. Purely let the space of unclutching manifest inside of you. Chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And when you do that, you can also sign up your Minutes for Peace at kailasa.tv/Minutes for Peace. How many ever minutes you get in your day, go ahead and become a part of this global unclutching initiative. Now let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti, doing the Ajaba Ajaba of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. A study conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine on the benefits of chanting has shown that the chanting has a direct positive benefit for the physical health and mental well-being. And the study correlates the chanting of the Ajba to the vagus nerve stimulation, which is a treatment used in depression and epilepsy. And another study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes the how human intentions, words, and thoughts can actually change the molecular structure of water. In this research, it shows that when water is exposed to positive sound vibrations, molecular formation in the water changes to a very pleasant formation, compared to when water is exposed to negative sound vibrations, it becomes distorted, disfigured, or disintegrated. So here are some examples of how water reacts when exposed to positive sound vibrations, words like compassion, thank you, wisdom, and versus you can see how the water molecule forms into this beautiful snowflake-like structure. And when it's exposed to negative sound vibrations like heavy metal music, words like I will kill you or you fool, the water molecular formation becomes disintegrated, disfigured, and distorted. So you can imagine what happens inside of your own body, which is composed of up to 60% water, when you chant the Ajba Ajba, the powerful sacred mantra. So you can, when you take some time in your day to either do the Ajba Ajba or the unclutching, you can become a part of the global unclutching initiative and sign up your Minutes for Peace at kailasa.tv/Minutes for Peace. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed that if 10,000 people can do this just for 3 months, we can give such a powerful, super conscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity. Because all of us are interconnected. We are not all islands. These are all fundamental truths. When you start unclutching, Kailasa starts experiencing the joy, the bliss of you unclutching. Nothing goes to waste in the cosmos. Now, let us look at the final method revealed by Devi Parashakti, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting. In the Arunachala Swarana that blossoms as Aham, Aham, in the Ananda Swarana. So just being in the constant remembrance of the divine, never having to actively remember or forgetting, but just being in that space of oneness, you will be able to be protected fully from COVID-19 and experience the safety protection of the divine. So with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and we'll be entering into the next segment where we will understand how exactly we can connect with the divine, how we can connect to Devi Parashakti, how to offer our gratitude and love to Devi Parashakti through the offering segment. And most recently, Devi Parashakti revealed that when you have the intention to make an offering, it is only by the divine grace that you're even having this intention. It is only when Devi, when Swamiji have decided to shower upon you that you are even having this intention. When you're having the intention to make an offering to Devi Swamiji, you should celebrate that intention because the divine Swamiji are ready to manifest through you. So now let us enter into this offering segment.
Yes, Nithyananda, and welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning more about the traditional offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her darshan and blessings. And in the Vedic tradition, making an offering to the divine as we get ready to receive the darshan or blessings of the divine at the temple or when we visit a guru. This tradition is a pure offering of love and devotion. It is the expression of the sacred sentiments of the devotee. And when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. These offerings are not made out of fear or greed, but as a pure expression of the love, devotion, and gratitude for the divine, as an expression of the sacred sentiments of the devotee for the divine. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. So now, as we get ready to receive Devi Parashakti with the traditional offerings and prepare to receive her darshan, let us look at this Dhyana Shloka which describes the beauty and splendor of Devi Parashakti. This is from the Moola Agama, Manonmani Dhyana, and this verse says, Indunibhavedakara vaninayanam syat pankajavaraabhaya japakshara sarayuktam angahima bhushana vichitra vasanam syat tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. The translation of this verse, it says, moon-like face holding the Veda books on hand, fire and eyes with lotus flower gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti. This verse describes ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां दधानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयं चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. The translation of this verse, it says, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the divine element of gold is used in abundance in all the rituals and worship for the divine. It is considered a sacred element. Let us look at one of the scriptural references for the use of the divine element of gold in the Hindu tradition. This verse from the Atharva Veda describes त्रेधाजतं जन्मनेदं हिरण्यम् अग्निरेकं प्रियतमां बभूव सोमस्यैख्यं मिंसितस्य परपतता पापमेकं वेद संरेतत्ते हिरण्यं त्रिविधस्त्वैविषे. The translation of this verse, it says, triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. The gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything that it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the Hindu scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, the Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. And now let us take a look at the various traditional offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her blessings and darshan. And Devi is described as Bhakti Priya, the one who is fond of true devotion. In this verse describes Devi's love for true devotion. It says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi, Sharadaradhya, Sharvani, Sharmadaini. The translation of this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there is any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives When thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, who is Lord Shiva. Sharadharadhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. The Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadayini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees, and you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, your token of gratitude in the e-hundi, and give the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti. You can make the offerings of the e-hundi in any amount and in multiple currencies of your choice, just as we offer any token of gratitude in the hundi in the temples in India, in the Hindu temples. You can make the e-hundi offering in any amount and in multiple currencies on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, which is the conscious resolution. And this verse from Devi Mahatmya, chapter 12, verse 34, describes Sayaitan mohyate vishwam shaiva vishwam prasuyate saya chittaja vijanam tushtarudhin prayaschati. The translation of this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. And you can make this offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti, and be blessed with all the fruition of all the desires and wishes that you're yearning for. And you can register for this seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Each coin is inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names. Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, that is, she who likes the repetition of her various names. And this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, with each gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, is a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. And by making this offering, where each coin is inscribed with the sacred name of Devi Parashakti, describing her Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti, you are also blessed to imbibe these very same divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. So you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi is described as the one who is adorned with garlands of pearls and gems. Let us look at this verse which describes Devi's beauty adorned with pearls and gems. This verse says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham Shinjannupura kinkini manidharam padma prabha bhasuram sarvabhita palapradham girisutam vani rama sevitam मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां निधिम्. The translation of this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small belts, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And we can make this offering of the gold finger ring embedded with pearl and receive the blessings to be showered by the pure love and compassion of Devi Parashakti in all of your business endeavors. You can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. And the lotus is a sacred flower used in the worship of the divine and the tradition. And various scriptures describe the significance of the lotus flower. So let us look at this one verse from the Kamika Agama, which describes one of the many significance of the lotus. This verse describes अष्टविद्येश्वरोपेत कुम्भावरणसंयुतं सर्वे ससूत्रवस्त्राद्या हेमपङ्कजभूषिताः सपिधनः सकुरच्चश्च पक्वबिल्वफलप्रभा स्नपनध्याय संसिद्धा प्रमाणेन समन्विताः. The translation of this verse says, all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references in the tradition for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called the lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. And you can make the offering of the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes as you wish to offer, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. So you can make the offering of the gold lotus on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And these verses describe the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And this verse says, Nakadhiditi sanchanna namajjanatamo guna padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And we can make this offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring to Devi Parashakti, and be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of life. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudhasharabhivarshini. she who makes the nectar flow in all the nerves from the Sahasrara Chakra, she who gives the very present experience of the ultimate. And the Swarnamamtika represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully open with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. So you can make this offering of the Swarnamamtika on the website and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas, and all the other traditional offerings, any of the traditional ornaments and savas, you make the offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. And these verses from Saundarya Lahari describe that the illumining splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance in the devotees prostrating at her feet, and her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. It states that the toenails which have been sharpened by constantly being their ignorance, the tamoguna, which is the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, the ignorance is removed by constantly prostrating at her feet, and they attain this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the offering of the ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. You can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So you make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloth. And this offering is the traditional offering of gratitude to the Divine for the constant protection of the Divine in our lives. And we can make this offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth, to Devi Parashakti, and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So here is a summary of the various offerings that can be offered to Devi Parashakti. The evenly offerings can be offered in any amount and in multiple currencies. The Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution can be offered on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas. The Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasa, offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Each coin is inscribed with a sacred name from the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. And this offering can be made in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. You can make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. This can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring trod on the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas. The Swarna Mamtika, which represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara, make this offering on the website www.com/savas. And you can also make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the ritualistic offering of gratitude, the traditional offering of gratitude from disciple to guru. We can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas, and we can also make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth offering to Devi Parashakti. And all of these offerings are being made available for you to register and offer to Devi Parashakti as your traditional offering of gratitude, your expression of the sacred sentiments as you get ready to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti. All of these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And let us now take a look at the website where all of these offerings can be offered to Devi Parashakti. So here we have the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas, and if you like of the traditional ornaments or the e-hundi offerings, you can click on the links on step 2 to make these offerings. And if you would like to make an intention today to make an offering, if you're not ready to make the offering yet, but you would like to make an intention to make an offering and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can make an intention on the form on step 1 and ready to, if you've made your traditional offerings and Great Britain pound and Chinese yen, and you can make this offering in any amount of your choice. And you can also make the offerings of the traditional ornaments and the sevas to Devi Parashakti on this website. You can make the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasa, which is the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one sacred names of Devi Parashakti. This offering can be made in 3 different denominations: the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring embedded, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. This offering can be made in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring adorning the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. This offering can be made on the website. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can make this offering on the website. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Vasta Seva, the traditional offerings of Seva to Devi Parashakti, you can make these offerings also on the website. And any other traditional offerings or Sevas that you would like to offer to Devi Parashakti as you get ready to receive her darshan and blessings today, as you welcome Devi Parashakti in your life and in your inner space, as you celebrate Devi Parashakti's happening. We can make all of these traditional offerings on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And with Deepavali, as we get ready to celebrate Deepavali, you can also make your traditional offerings of celebration for Deepavali on the website www.kailasamela.com. You can register for the various offerings for Deepavali. We have the offerings for Naraka Chaturdashi, which is the Chandi Homa and the Kali Pratima offering, the installation of the Kali Pratima. You can also register for the Ambal Alankara Seva and the Seva for the Murti of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Satya Avatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And you can also register for Pratyaksha Pada Puja on the auspicious occasion of Deepavali. So this is the most traditional offering of gratitude to Guru, disciple, on the auspicious occasion of Deepavali. You can register for the Tulabharam or register as a Mahayajaman for all sevas. Also coming up. So if Bhagwan Lord Muruga is your Ishtadevata, you celebrate Muruga Katash Sevas and you can make the offerings to Devi Parashakti on www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. So you can now get ready with your traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti, and let us learn more also about the various facilities being made available for the care and well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa as being guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. So let us now learn more about these various facilities, the various contributions of Kailasas to the care and well-being of humanity. So let us now learn more about these contributions of Kailasas and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as he guides us, as he guides the whole of humanity through this pandemic and to a super conscious breakthrough. Nithyananda Madayamai Swami.
Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam Amrita, Nithyanandam everyone. Welcome back to this segment of Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Center at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Chadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learn from this segment today concerning statistics on mental health and global peace across the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global peace? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spiritual solutions for COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Center, some glimpses, and why temple-based ecosystems. UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now let us see some statistics and current news. Australia reported a new record number of coronavirus cases recently when the country continues to battle the third wave of COVID-19 infections. World Health Organization makes a big statement about the Delta variant of COVID-19. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. The 1918 to 19 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. And COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and the Associated Press both reported the grim milestone recently. COVID-19 now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of the 1918 to 19 influenza. People infected with the alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than the original COVID strain. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. COVID-19 Delta variant, World Health Organization's experts. The COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control in the United States, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Mr. Anthony Fauci. He said, right now, we are still in pandemic mode because we have 150,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in the COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide the booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in the Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You've got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable, Mr. Fauci said. The World Economic Forum, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful with the increase in violent incidences and fatalities. The younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder, what it was before the pandemic in a 6 months period was 11%, and from January to June 2019, and in just 1 month of beginning of this year, it rose up to 41.1%. The share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder, some more statistics confirming the same, that the younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorders. Stress in America, COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their lives. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. Of the health workers who treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Depression before the COVID-19 pandemic was 15%. Now, during the pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. And anxiety was 29%. Now it rose up to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. And 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Nearly 82% of the women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of the women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting in the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. The International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of pandemic. In India, the Mumbai mayor says the third wave is already here. And the city mayor has said that the third wave of COVID is already upon Mumbai. Pointing to a sudden spike in cases, the third wave of COVID-19 is not coming, it's already here, said the Kishori Padnekar, adding that an announcement regarding the matter had already been made in Nagpur. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of the health staff. A little over 25% of healthcare workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infections due to the Delta variant. The study, jointly conducted by the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, Maximum Hospitals in Delhi NCR, found that the vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. The new COVID-19 variant more shows signs of vaccine resistance. Now that we have seen across the world, the statistics of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is affecting not only the physical health, the increase in fatalities and the mental health, especially on the younger generation, which is leading to the making the world less peaceful, affecting the global health, global peace. So how to cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It's important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave destroying many more lives. And the global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020, which is no longer recognizable, and drastic change is the order of the day, which people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Making peace with nature is possible only if we start now. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now, let's watch a small clip on making peace with nature. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace and there cannot be peace without health. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at global, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions for the global peace. The Vedic civilization beautifully says that Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivana pushyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigagupshate. Isha Upanishad, the global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. The individual bliss is the source for the global peace in the level of Om. The microscopic and macroscopic level Om are the macroscope level universe. Whatever level it may be, global peace is the byproduct of the individual peace and bliss. How do we achieve this individual peace? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains by practicing completion, by practicing unclutching, one can achieve the individual peace, which leads to the global peace.
The consciousness you are carrying, I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. More deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more in you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial parts of you fights with you, different thoughts of you fights with you, even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with a completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and more completion happens in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Going into the deepermost corners of your being not only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. It really becomes a vibrant power where the tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much, enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death comes at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being more than what I received from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money paid. No debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. When you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. The best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without. And those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month will live completion and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others, burning the patterns which are constantly keeping us in a superficial level. All over the world, we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion. And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating samskara dahana kriya. This month, 20th, 21st and 20th. This whole month, all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do samskara dahana kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the Samskara Dagana Kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. The amount of suffering and negative waves, negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand. One positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence we proved, one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being, I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be a better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be a better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be a better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Bring more and more completion into you. Completion with others. And start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today, we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most powerful science. Does so much to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done. So much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita. Strength of Advaita. Today the Inner Awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on completing with others. So with this, because today we have a long session with inner awakening, we are also lagging behind the syllabus. Actually, it is a good news, it's not a bad news, because participants are so sincere, whole process so intensely, sincerely. Because of that, we are little delayed, but today I am going to catch up. Today I am going to spend more time and catch up with them, with the syllabus. So, I conclude today with this. I'll move to the next.
Now the Supreme Pontiff of
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should.
Now the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained the self-transformation is the key to global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there.
If you read the Puranas, the mythological stories, enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means, I'll tell.
Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, Sri Kailas is all about peace-based powerfulness.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti based Shakti, peace based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure. You yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every chanting, every Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one, your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then let them send a challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is the responsibility of Hindus. we living, practicing Hindus, not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living, practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus have
Now let us see the Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a superconsciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the lockdown, the amount of contribution and activism of Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost billions of minutes so far. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. The spiritual healing to one and all 24/7. Helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation. Initiating thousands every day into the manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in the Kailas courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurvedic solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truths and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities. Continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, the free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tiruvannamalai and Los Angeles. Paving way with the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailas are offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods of global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja. nullifying the collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading the cosmic revelations. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spiritual solutions for COVID-19. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots when he develops a vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now it is time that the nature, Prakriti, resets itself, and many of the blind spot-based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya which is happening is melting down everything which is delusion-based. The world as we know is gone. Let us celebrate God. This isolation which is seemingly endless with an unknown future which is compelling humanity to make a 100% lifestyle change is something to be deeply dwelt upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solutions and powerful cognition. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them the super consciousness breakthrough and revive enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions: unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, nirahara samyama. It is time we all take responsibility to save humanity and to protect people from this pandemic fatigue and destruction. It is all the spiritual solutions are free and open for all. Let us take few minutes now and share with as many people as possible, and let us save the world. Let us give them the experience of unclutching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna, and save people from the pandemic fatigue and epidemic fatigue, destruction and delusion. People from over 50 countries continuously radiate the space of Paramashiva by practicing the unclutching meditation 24/7 a day, 7 days a week, and it started from 13th May Indian Standard Time. At any given point of time, 4 to 8 zones actively unclutching around the world. Join this movement at http://kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, and the cognitions rooted in the highest truths, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aims to reduce the crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after the participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of community practiced meditations, puja, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on an average. The current tally on the Minutes for Peace website is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, including all the events, programs, and festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes out to be a staggering of 409 billions of minutes for peace so far. You can see some of the glimpses where the about 5,000 devotees gathered and participated in a 48-day meditation program called Shuddhatvaitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela in the United States in Los Angeles since 2007. Nithyananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization to host Kumbh Mela outside India by the Akhila Bharatiya Akhada Parishad. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized the first confluence for world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives saving others on September 11, 2011 at Irvine, California. The second Confluence for Peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, PAPS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada, etc. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and together in harmony from all walks of life to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has conducted the large-scale collective meditations on September 21st, International Peace Day, to raise the collective consciousness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been initiating sannyas to thousands of the disciples. Sannyas is our social responsibility. Let us save Hinduism and humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating hundreds of thousands of people into the Nithyananda monastic order. The all-renouncing monks contribute to best things to human civilization, living their life with the cognition life is for others. These monks and nuns act as the harbingers of the peace and empowerment for the human society distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages. There are the spiritual journeys, taking the spiritual aspirants to high energy sacred spots such as the Himalayas, Kailas, Varanasi, Angkor Wat, and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for more human beings to benefit from the spiritual energy present at these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring individual and collective peace as a natural consequence. Food systems hold key to ending the world hunger, United Nations Environmental Program. Effect of COVID-19 pandemic, the UN has noted a dramatic increase in the world hunger. According to the state of food security and nutrition in the world, 1/10 of the global population, as many as 811 million people, were undernourished in 2020, an increase of 118 million from 2019. Under the Red Om, the No Hunger Project, through the mentors at the Kailasas de facto spiritual embassies worldwide, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served over 5 billion organic sattvic vegetarian meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens of is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, under the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is opening of Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers, free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model handling the COVID-19 pandemic at a community level, along with the guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. Now we can see the participants of the Kailasa's COVID care program offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are enjoying a healthy spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered protection. They enjoy stress-free time, following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, daily puja, temple sevas, kara sevas, and celebrating festivals. So join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers at the register now through the link below at https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. The revival of the temple sciences and ecosystem. The Kailasa's COVID care centers, the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies are all temple-based. Why the temple-based ecosystems? Especially now in the times when the COVID-19 is rampant and the ancient temples are in a lockdown because of the risk of the widespread corona disease, the devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years. Yet all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdowns have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of the online platform on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. Now let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining about the science of temples.
Master, people not belonging to this culture knows little about this particular Meenakshi temple. Please tell us who is Devi Meenakshi and her husband. Why this grand temple? What are the visible and invisible functions of this temple? Please tell us, Swamiji.
Read the next question also.
As we see in our present time, towers of mobile, TV or dish TV antennas everywhere connecting invisibility to satellites, doing an incredible function for individuals and for society. My question is, there is and was everywhere temples and deities in this culture. Anybody coming from outside just wonder, is this just sentimental carved stones worshipping culture or just artistic sculpture? What is the invisible function of temples, deities?
See, both questions, same answer. That is the reason I wanted to answer both the questions together. Modern day dish TVs, antennas, mobile towers, all of them work in the level of certain frequency where the words, pictures, visuals can be transmitted. See, the verbalization and visualization, names and forms can be transmitted from one place to another place through these mobile towers, dish TV antennas. But the temple towers are created to transmit super consciousness from one place to another place. Please understand, in Meenakshi's time, there was television, conscious television. It used to be in stone slab, and if you just sit in front of that stone TV, meditate, connect with Meenakshi, she will appear live and answer whatever you want. So each of the stone slabs only slowly later on became deities. You can see in our temples this happening. The TVs in which I am appearing and speaking are slowly becoming deities. They are receiving worship Flowers are offered to it. Aarti is done to it. Incense is given to it. Now, all our temples are planning to have a separate throne for this TV. In Los Angeles, already I am on the throne. The TV is in the throne. The TV, in which people are seeing me, already became deity. Same way, please understand, the stones through which people were able to connect with the superconsciousness have become deities. Same way, all our temples, deities, everything is a connecting mechanism with superconsciousness. The mechanism which connects with the superconsciousness. Please understand, the deities and temples are not just sentimental carved stones, or they are not just artistic sculptures, they are conscious transmitters. They raise you to the superconsciousness. In each house in Vedic tradition, we have a puja room. All the puja rooms are your private conscious airport, are conscious transmission centers. The main temple is the place from where continuous superconsciousness is radiating. So if you just sit and connect with a deep feeling connection, see, in those days human beings were so beautiful and simple. Just remembering the name of the deity is enough. They are already in connection with the deity. That feeling connection. When I read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it says, sit in Siddhasana and be in Samadhi. That's all. So the human beings were so simple in those days. Just if you sit in Siddhasana, you are already in Samadhi. If you sit, your mind sits. Now, if you sit, your mind sits. Mind is completely away from the body. In those days, human beings were so simple and intelligent. All the non-mechanical parts of their brain were awakened. It is Western culture which killed the non-mechanical parts of the brain, the functions of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Please understand, in the Vedic civilization, always human beings were brought up in such a way that non-mechanical parts of the brain was fully alive and awakened. It is a cultural invasion, destroyed the greatest possibility of the human being when the non-mechanical parts of the brain is not functioning anymore. The temples, deities, all these are looking useless. Otherwise, they are a huge conscious infrastructure. Please understand. So, an example, suddenly, if we find some method to travel just 20 feet above the air, or 30 feet above the air, without petrol or diesel, all our automobiles, roads, everything will become useless. Then you will wonder, why so many automobile industries are established? Why so many cars are produced? Why this huge road waste? I think our ancestors are fools. You don't understand. At one period, it was used. It was being useful. Our temples our deities, all these are useful if all your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened. Unclutching is the process to awaken your non-mechanical parts of the brain. When your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, you will understand temples, deities, how useful they are, how directly useful they are, how they are part of our life, how they enrich our life, and how they make human beings intelligent, enlightened. These are the methods created to create enlightened civilization. These grand temples are not built as an just monument. They are built as a conscious movement. It is not like Egyptian pyramids, monuments. No. It is conscious movement to raise human beings to the highest consciousness, to make human beings experience the highest purpose. Understand, unclutch, use the temples to achieve the highest consciousness.
Jivan Mukti Pradam.
So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers at the register now through the link below with https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. With this, we are going to move on to the next part of our program after a very short break. Thank you, Nithyanandam.